Hi, this is Alan and Shay from OurSociety. We're here tonight at the big game, the Turkey Tussel. We're here on the floor of the Rose Bowl, watching the two teams battle against each other to see who's going to be the winner of the bid. We're here with our new superintendent. It's been less than a year, right?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Officially.
Officially, yes.
Officially.
This is my first full year.
First full year. Our new superintendent who's doing an incredible job. And we're here on the floor of his first Turkey Tussel as superintendent.
Right.
And what do you think about it? What does your kids think about it? And what do you think about the Turkey Tussel and what does it mean to you?
Well, I certainly think that this is an entertaining game. It's always a good event to come to. I enjoy taking my kids to the game as well. This game is rich in tradition. All day long I've been hearing stories about the game. And so this is a source of pride for students and alumni from both schools alike. So yeah, this is a tremendous source of pride for our school district. And I certainly enjoy coming out to the game.
Well, we certainly appreciate you having time to give us an interview. So what do you predict the score is going to be tonight? And I know since you can't lean either way, we like to hear from the top man what's going to be the outcome.
All right, I think I'll go with 21-17 PHS.
PHS, oh, okay. Well, it's a good thing that you live over on PHS side, so when we bring that bill back home. No, that's a good thing, and we just want to thank you so much for being our superintendent here at Pasadena Unified School District to show a new pathway for our future and for the future students here in Pasadena.
Yes.
Definitely. And hopefully your boys are enjoying this game.
They are, yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're here again with the principal of John Muir High School at his fourth Turkey Tussel. As principal, and he's going to share with us the real pride of being a Mustang and bringing that bell back to John Muir this year.
Well, ever since 1947, back when it was John Muir College versus Pasadena City College, there were two campuses, and it was all K-16 back then. But back then, even it was the big game between the Mustangs and the Bulldogs, and it's been a crosstown rivalry, an intense crosstown rivalry, ever since then. Alumni will come and tell me USC, UCLA, Texas A&M not even close to what this is, you know.
Exactly.
And it's just exciting to be a part of it. Be exciting to be a part of history in this place and to see all the alumni come back and all the memories they have of their Turkey Tussles when they were in high school.
Right. Now, I was hoping that you can answer this one for me, Tim, if I may.
Sure.
Are you aware of how many NFL players came out of John Muir High School because of this event and what the Turkey Tussle has encouraged them about moving forward?
I don't know the number. I know one of them is here on the sideline tonight. Derek Holmes, I saw him here in the crowd.
Right.
But there are quite a few that have gone on to obviously Division I college and also the NFL. And several of them are on our Alumni Hall of Fame, which is in the hallowed halls of John Muir High School.
Right. And the reason I like to put Tim on as they say, the blast is because he's such an incredible principal. He's only 22 years old, so we have to reveal his age. So I got to make sure he knows some of the history, because I just think it's really important for the students to know how rich in history this event is. Absolutely. And how it really foster future generations, as well as really pave a real road for the existing students that have walked this path and enjoyed this game.
Absolutely.
So what would you like to share to the viewers so they can really see how important this tradition is and what the value, and as a principal of one of the largest schools in Pasadena, really what your hopes are with understanding the value of what this brings to the community?
Well, I think that it's very important for students to be able to see themselves in the context of the world. And football and sports is only a part of the world, of course, but to be able to see that you are important enough to have a night to shine in a place like this. Whether you're a cheerleader, or you're on the field as an athlete, or you're in the band, or you're just a student and your high school has this kind of venue, and to be celebrated and to be acknowledged. And of course the folks across town too.
Right.
But it just that, you know, you matter. And you're important, and this city cares about you enough to celebrate you in this way.
Well, I'm glad that you've had an opportunity to embrace what Pasadena offers its students. But more important for the viewers, I would like for you to share with them how much you've embraced having the Bell the last 4 years. So why don't you give them a little insight what that is all about and how you feel as a principal to receive that every year as a real significance. It looked like we just scored a touchdown, and actually it's our first touchdown of the night. So it's great.
That's a John Muir touchdown.
And that's a John Muir touchdown. So that's a good thing.
I had to do a double take because it's second quarter.
Right.
And so we're going the other way now.
Well, and I was looking for flags, so we don't get anything called back. So that's a good thing. So far we're on the right track. But we were right at a point where Tim was about to share with us really his pride and his feeling as a principal who have received going on his fourth hopefully championship or Rose Bowl victory here at the Turkey Tussel. So why don't you share that with the viewers so they can really understand what that means as a principal and what that means for your student body and what you can move forward with that on your side.
Well, I'll just tell you, first of all, before this will be the fourth year for us, but be 19 years straight for the school.
Okay. Wow.
And you know, it's significant for us because John Muir High School is about half the size of our neighbors across town, a third of the size of some of the other schools in our league.
Wow.
And yet we're able to compete with them. And so, you know, again, football is just one thing. It's just one aspect of a high school, one aspect of athletics also. But for the school and for students to know, hey, you may be an underdog in terms of the number of students enrolled in your school, but that doesn't mean anything. You can compete with anybody.
Right.
Anybody, anywhere. And so to be able to carry that kind of pride and that kind of tradition and that kind of legacy, even though we may not be as big as we used to be, we're growing, we're getting back, and to be able to hold our own, and in the context of this event, do more than hold our own for almost 20 years. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
Well, and I am glad to hear that, because one of the things I've committed to, and oh my God, okay. Again, it's becoming a good game. It's excitement, right? and we're going to close out on this one. We just really would like to thank you, and certainly the viewers, hopefully they will really understand how much work you put into making sure that PUSD is a model example for what we do for our students and what we do for our academics growth as well as our athletics, to be a showcase, and also enhance what we are about, a city.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm delighted to have had the opportunity to speak with you, and thank you for putting together this film and this documentary to be able to communicate and share that with people who aren't aware of it.
Right. Well, not only are we going to make it a documentary of this, because we want to make sure we give it to Muir for their museum.
Oh yes.
You know, and I'm going to share with you one other story so that you can see that it's recorded for historic purposes. Muir had a losing streak. Are you aware of this?
I've seen that there was a time, I can't remember which decade, but there was a dry spell.
A real dry spell. And the real dry spell was from 1965.
Okay.
And the team that won it after 10 years was 1976.
Okay.
And I was one of those individuals who participated in bringing the bell back to John Muir.
Beautiful.
Okay. And as a result of that, we were on High School Prep Game of the Week with Brian Gumble as our commentator at 1 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon with 40,000 people here at attendance, because both of us were high caliber teams at the time.
Yeah.
And the film was never recaptured.
Oh my goodness.
Right. So this will add true value and asset for John Muir, and the love and passion that we have for our school and our city. And with John Muir continuing that spirit and a victory tonight, we can continue to have our glory days.
Amen.
All right.
All right. Well,
I
thank you very
appreciate it,
much.
Tim.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Just to get warmed up. Oh my gosh. Oh, and you need to change the battery.
We have one of Muir's pride and joy, and a gentleman I've known for almost over 40 years, who has really been one of the most dynamic assets of PUSD. He's educated a lot of kids. He's certainly put a lot of us on the pathway of success, and I'm one of those students that you've done this for, Mr. Paul. And what I'd like for you to share with the viewers tonight is really, what does a Turkey Tussle mean to you, and what have you seen throughout the years as a result of this tradition?
Well, I went to school here and graduated in '62, so I've been here a long time. There's nothing better than the tradition of these two teams. I went through the '70s where PHS dominated, and then fortunately was coaching with Muir during the '80s and '90s when Muir controlled everything. And it was great to hear and great to see. Great to see a close game. I was on the end of some where we won 45, 50 or nothing. And they were fun for me because we were winning. But it's better to see a close game, I think, and the tradition of the city. And I'm disappointed that the paper doesn't put more emphasis onto it. Star News doesn't give much credit. They used to be every day of the week during the Turkey Tussle week, they'd give something out. They just don't do it anymore. It's a shame, because this is the city. And the best part about it is the camaraderie. You can hate your opponent on the field, and then you go home and party with them after the game. That's what the Turkey Tussle is all about.
Well, good. So as a alumni of John Muir, as someone who's experienced the Turkey Tussle excitement as a student, really what does the future hold for this event in your eyes, and how can we resonate the real need to bring more attention and to prepare for the future generation as to this rich tradition?
Well, again, I think it goes back to the media some. The media needs to promote it more Also the district. It's good to see the district people here tonight. First time I've seen them in about 5 or 10 years. I think growing up as a kid, what's hurt the programs have been the open district. You used to know what school you were going to. You were going to Muir, you were going to PHS. Now in the open district, they can go to Alamany, they can go to Oaks Christian. There's no unity as far as the community goes anymore with this program. And they need to stop that and go back to the traditional, I'm going to PHS, I'm going to Muir type thing.
Well, we're going to close out by asking you this last question because you, as I said earlier, are one of the gems of producing high-quality athletes. Can you share with the viewers, to the best of your recollection, what has been some of the top athletes that you've seen come through this system and to embrace the Turkey Tussle with great results as professionals, whether in football or in their respective profession, in their own rights? Can you share with the viewers?
Yeah, I remember when I went to school with Rod Sherman. He played in the NFL. Was lucky enough to coach Ricky Irvins, Marcus Robertson, Chad Brown, Derek Holmes, who was here tonight. That's just a few that I've coached that went on to great stuff. Johnny Lynn, of course, you remember Johnny, one of the great athletes I ever had in junior high and high school. And there's more to come. I hope to keep the tradition alive. PHS has some great players too. Mario Clark, I remember, and several other ones that went to their school. So it's a tradition-rich program. And as far as the Mustangs go, we stress scholar athletes as much as anything else. A lot of our kids went on not just to be athletes in the professional ranks, but also in doctors and lawyers and stuff like that. I think all schools can say that, but I'm proud to know the people that I sent that way.
Well, I would like to share with the viewers, I'd like to proclaim you as a father of at least my era and what you've done with all the young people that came through with me and after me to really be a strong figure for us to draw from and to respect and to continue that John Muir Mustang pride that you have instilled in us.
Well, I appreciate that, Alan, and I try to keep it going as long as I can. Even though I'm retired for 13 years, I'm still here, keeping it going.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate it.
Thank you
very much. We're back with Mr. Jenkins here. What do you think of the game so far, sir?
Well, Mustangs is losing, so I'm not real happy right now. Yeah, for sure. I think the kicking game and the special teams are having some troubles right now, and they need to get it together.
So is Muir a second half team? That's going to be the question.
Well, I've only seen them play once this year, so I can't really determine if they're a second half team or not, but let's hope so, because losing to the Bulldogs is just unacceptable.
Okay. Well, are you happy with the kind of turnout we got so far and the support from the city and PUSD and
turnout in regard to the number of people?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is average for the most part, but when we played Allen, all the pinks were filled up,
right.
but based on who's here and it's all good. Yeah, everything's well.
Now, one of the things I want to ask you, I didn't hear it articulated today or mentioned today, but can you share with the viewers what the records of either team is?
I think, from my understanding, Muir is 3-5, and I think Pasadena is 4-5 or 4-3, something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is really all about who's going to walk away with the victory of the Turkey Tussle.
Well, and as you know, the records are absolutely irrelevant when it comes to the Turkey Tussle.
Right.
When it comes to the Turkey Tussle, a lot of these guys know each other from childhood, and this is a very cross-town rivalry. And you can throw the records out the door when this game comes about.
Okay. Well, we're gonna let you go because we know you got to keep supervising the stadium and make sure everything is running smooth.
I'm pulling for the Mustangs, and the Mustangs need to pull this out.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well,
I'm a Mustang.
You're a Mustang.
I'm a
Well,
Mustang.
I'm a Mustang too.
I know you are, but I'm just saying we need to win this game. That's why. And if we don't win it, then
Shame on us.
shame on us.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure,
All
man.
right. As you know, this is one of the players that was a class of 76.
Yes.
And what we're asking all the players is, what does the Turkey Tussle mean to you? and share with the viewers your history of playing football here at John Muir, what you've seen in the years, and how did it feel to be a part of that history for John Muir, to bring the bell back to John Muir after 10 years of being an absentee tenant with that bell.
Well, I'll tell you, it felt great. The feeling to be on the field here at the time was something special, with Coach Lou Underwood and with all the great players around. It meant a lot to everyone on the team and myself. It was something special just to be here.
Well, I'm going to have to lead my fellow teammate here on a few things. First of all, I want you to introduce yourself.
Okay.
I want you to tell the viewers your story of how many years you've played, how many successes you had as a victory here in the Rose Bowl, and how many failures you had, to show people really the transition of going through failures and success with playing on this field.
Okay. Well, my name is Monty Smetherman. I played with John Muir High School from 1974 to 1977, and the failures and successes were many. We had a lot of years that we went through where we didn't have those successes until the final year in '76, when Coach Lou came along and brought us all together as a team and bonded us to move along.
Well, I'm going to share for the viewer. Monty's been a little modest here. I'm going to have to help my friend. I've known Monty since we were 10 years old.
Yes.
At least we go back to probably 5th grade.
Yep.
And he has been one of the most incredible athletes that I've known as a kid.
Oh, thank you.
And certainly this was established when he got to high school, because as a 9th grader, he was one of 3, I believe, or 2 people that actually went as a 9th grader up to junior varsity and played 3 years of varsity.
Right.
That's very rare that students are able to experience that, and then experience 3 years as a varsity player and 2 years as a starting varsity player.
Yes, yeah, that was something special. We needed some linemen, and I guess I had the size back then. Of course, I don't have the size now, but back then I had the size, and we had a great line coach and Coach Dan Luke, and he really helped us just be the best line we could to open up the holes for Ronnie and everyone else.
Well, why don't you share with the viewers? And I'm trying to pull out of you, Monty, because Monty was one of those humble players that really was a big feature of our success. And the reason why I say this is for a number of reasons. One, I used to play against Monty, so we're going to talk a little story there so we can see the value of what that meant as players growing up together. We also went to junior high school, elementary, junior high school, and high school together.
Yeah.
And for us as men now to probably go through that experience from elementary throughout our entire academic experience, to really see and stand here today to try and encourage our community and encourage the next generation of how valuable this tradition is. They need to hear from us. And I think out of all the players that I've shared this platform with tonight, you and I are probably in line with it, other than Sidney Patton. He was here earlier.
Yeah.
And Sidney, as you may not know, was actually my first friend when I moved to Pasadena, because he's my neighbor.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And before I even went to kindergarten. But other than that, Monty is the next person I would share this experience with, who really inspired me to be a great contribution to our team our senior year. And the reason why is I'm going to let Monty tell that story so you viewers can really see why we get excited about it.
Well, we get excited about it, every day out on the field. We go out to practice, and I can remember many times playing up against you, and you were always on the other side of the line, and quite a fireball, I might say. And the experience that we all shared together there was something special for the time. It was something special for all of us. We had a lot of unity back in those days. We all shared a common bond, and I was a humble player, but I did my job because I knew that's what Coach Lou wanted. And you know what? The great thing about Coach Lou is that he always believed in you, and he always gave you something special. And playing for him and playing in the Rose Bowl against Pasadena High School and being the first school to win in 10 years, it's a memory that I'll never forget my whole life. So.
Well, I just want to thank you this is probably the first time that you and I actually had a chance to really embrace each other since high school. But I'm glad we finally got time to connect up and to make this documentary so that we could share with other people how important our history is and how important our community is.
It is, and the tradition that we have here with this Turkey Tussle in Pasadena and all the players that we have, it's something that we pass on to everybody, and it's a tradition that we really want to see continue on for many years to come.
Well, what would you like to share with the viewers before we let you go, really, about this whole process of resonating the importance of tradition and really seeing how we can rekindle the spark? Because back when we played, we had about 40,000 people here.
We did, yeah.
But now, looks like it maybe 5,000, 6,000. But we want to get people awareness up first, because that's the first step of getting back on track.
Sure. Well, I think the important thing is that the emphasis continue to remain on schools and having our schools build and be strong. And I think within the city of Pasadena, that's something that's such a pride issue. And for myself, it helped me build my future. It helped me build my foundation for life. And without it, and without Coach Lou, I don't know. But I'm fantastic.
Well, we certainly appreciate you, sir, and hopefully we won't make it a 20, 30-year period before we actually get together. So thank you, Monty.
Thank you, Alan.
Okay.
Nice talking to you.
We're here with another one of our, I call him a super player back in '76, Mr. Peter Marshall, who's not only was he a great player, but he also is a long-term friend of mine. We go back to junior high school. We played football at Elliott. Yep. And also, once we got to Muir, we finally figured out how to play tackle. Right. And actually was a beneficiary of 4 years of beating PHS. Could we say that?
Yeah. We never lost to them.
We never lost.
Never lost.
I want to keep the record straight.
I think that's right. We never lost. Our class. No, I can't recall losing to HS.
Okay. Well, what we're asking all the players, because we want to make sure we get the story straight, really have a real record of what the commitment is of being a part of this tradition.
Yeah.
We're asking all the players, what does the Turkey Tussle mean to you, and what has been the benefits as a result of this experience?
I guess it means a lot of history to it. For me personally, I had 3 older brothers. My oldest one's 13 years older than I was, and they never saw a victory while they were there. Once we won it after a decade, it was a big deal to a lot of people. We just wanted to win every game. So back then, I didn't realize the magnitude of it. We just wanted to win every game we played. We knew this was a special one. And when we got it, we knew it was a special thing because we hadn't had it so long. And now as time goes on, I see the tradition and